Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. All praise unto Yahweh Shai Buharu Kakadash. Double honors unto the apostles, a great millstone. All of you brothers that be pushing this truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. So this is gonna be a video, just a quick one, going into the history made today. You know, this video was published today, February the 13th, 2019, and pretty much, you know, America national debt is top 22 trillion, and I was just gonna do a quick video on it. So this it says, history made, U.S. national debt tops 22 trillion. The U.S. national debt has climbed above 22 trillion and is projected to continue rising, of which, you know, come on, man. We're expecting this dollar to die down any moment now. So it going up and up and up is no surprise to us. It's projected to continue rising by a trillion each year over the next decade due to the cost of the pension and the medical care. And that's what you know as it says, and care for the retiring baby boomers. And that's what you know as what's the deficit spending, okay? Because when before currency is issued out, you have what's known as a budget drawn by a politician, the president, and there's what's known as deficit spending, so social spending, Medicaid, okay, I think it's called Medicaid out there within America, so medical care, pensions, that's all stuff that's already paid for before any other loans are taken out from the U.S. Federal Reserve or whatever. Okay, and then that's how this country keeps on getting into debt. And also too, you're gonna buy food from other countries. That's all debt spending, and you know you're gonna pay for this, that, and the third. And people are dropping the dollar like it's crazy now. All right, you got it to where they was putting sanctions on Russia, and what you're finding out is a lot of people, a lot of countries now are dealing with Russia or via other currencies outside of the US dollar. And you got it to where China, India, all right, I don't know if Pakistan is involved in there, but I know Iran is involved in there. They're all trying to deal outside of the dollar. I know yesterday China was basically, there was a report yesterday on RT. They were saying China is doing a large amount of spending into gold. All right, they're investing heavily into gold. All right, because the dollar, people are basically trying to do away with that. So that's going to add a lot of pressure, a lot more pressure to that 21 trillion, 22 trillion. Now, you know, we mentioned these numbers, we do videos on it, and I'm gonna put it in the title, 22 trillion US debt. But you gotta really know what kind of numbers we're speaking about, man. That's a large number. All right, I don't know if they got an example here of what that actually means in per household. All right, when you look at this on the debt clock, the US debt clock, usually they give you a figure what it is per household, and the amount it takes to pay this off basically is higher than the GDP. So what they're letting you know in a roundabout way is, okay, the debt's gonna go and carry on rising up and up and up, but hold on a minute, you're gonna have to pay that money off, man. All right, when you got a credit card, you don't just carry on spending the credit card until you drop dead. You're gonna pay that off at some point. And that's where this thing of the chip, the RFID chip, the mark of the beast comes into play, because that's going to be the solution to what? The immigration problem. All right, you got it to where Trump shut down the government. He's going to reshut it down. He was saying they was going to reshut it down, I think March or something like that. You got the thing out here within the UK with the Brexit. Okay, you got the migrants out there from Syria. They're still running around Europe like it's like there's no tomorrow. Okay, so everybody out here is in a fist, is in a panic. All because of what? All because things are coming to a head, man. Okay, there's a lot of problems within a lot of international problems, not just problems like the U.S. is facing this and it's just isolated there, or it's just the Britain is just over there, they're doing their own thing. No, we got within the world right now. There is a lot of international issues. Okay, that people are looking around their own countries and looking at where the best place to live is. Okay, or you might say Germany, or you might say other places, but the reality of the situation is, it's coming to a point where it's like there's nowhere else on earth that's gonna be like a safe haven, if you will, because all of these countries, they got problems, man, And what's going to happen is that they're going to use the RFID chip market, the beast, to fix these problems with debt. All right, these problems with the different governments shutting down, like Trump shutting down the migrant problem. Okay, all of these issues that you got are all around. Oh, another one that they always like to bring up, the thing of poverty. Okay, out there within the so-called these third world countries. Okay, that's the thing of the chip is going to have it to where everybody is going to be equal. The scriptures talks about how that pretty much everybody, whether they be a slave, whether they be free, whether they're just doing their own thing somewhere else, the scripture says that what they're all going to receive the chip, which I'm gonna get to in a second. Okay, so it says that the U.S. national debt has climbed above 22 trillion, and it's projected to continue rising a trillion each year for the next decade. So pretty much in 10 years, we ain't here, but pretty much in 10 years, all right, they're saying it's going to be at what? At 32 trillion. Now, who's going to pay that off, man? Okay, so it says on Tuesday, all right, the U.S. Treasury, and that's a rhetorical question because I gave you what the solution is going to be. I'm going to read it out the scriptures in a second. Okay, the solution to all problems is going to be the RFID chip, all right? So it says on Tuesday, the U.S. Treasury Department published the daily statement showing outstanding public debt spending at 22.01 trillion. Right, the sum of the total government budget deficit, all right, has increased by 2.06 trillion or 2.1 trillion, all right, since President Trump took office in 2017. So this dude ain't been in there for too long, but he's been spending a hell of a lot of money, man. Okay, a debt spending. Okay. The Congressional Budget Office, CBO, is projecting the deficit for the fiscal year 2019 to be 897 billion, a 50% increase over last year's 780 billion, greater than the entire Pentagon budget. For comparison's sake, okay, the CBO has estimated the deficit, all right, will continue to increase by 1 trillion annually, starting in 2022. Due to the rising cost of entitlement programs like Social Security and Medicare, which is what I mentioned a little bit earlier on. All right, and I explained how the mechanics of that works. A good video to watch is how money is generated. And when you see how money is generated, pretty much you're supposed to be thinking, man, damn, we got to get out of this system because money is created out of thin air. All right, the money that's in your pocket is created out of thin air. So whenever you have that money within your pocket, it's like you owe a certain percentage of that money, all right, to the elite banking families, man. But if all the money that exists has been borrowed into existence, how are you going to pay it off? Because the system wasn't designed to be a thing where you're going to pay it off to the elite banking families. The system was designed to crash at some point, and it was going to issue out that chip. That goes back onto Albert Pike and guys like Albert Pike and all of these other so-called founding forefathers of the Illuminati. And people joke about it, even at the work, at the job, people was joking about it. But the reality of the situation is these things exist, all right? And for the men of the Lord, you're going to look like a fool right up until the time comes, all right? Just like it always says within Jeremiah, the 28th chapter. Here it is, okay? People are looking for the solution. We're giving them the solution, especially Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, all right? We're giving them the scriptural solutions, but especially for you Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, we're giving you what? The hope, okay? That this is gonna come to a head. It's gonna come to an end soon. But you know what these people is like, pursuant to the book of Ecclesiastes. What was it? 7:7. Folly is set in great dignity. All right. So it says deficit nearly doubled during administration of President Obama, growing 9 trillion as the Federal Reserve engaged in massive quantitative easing programs to bail out the financial sector during the 2008 crash. 10 years on, in 2018, all right, the markets were a lot worse than they was in 2008 due to that deficit spending. All right, but nobody cares. Nobody's worried about it. All right, because people just think you're just gonna go to work tomorrow, okay, talk shit about football. All right, and then everything is gonna be all right come Saturday, and that's just not the case, man. All right, so it says the new debt record is another reminder of the inexcusable tab our national leaders continue to run and will leave for the next. And they say the next generation, but bro, it's 22 trillion, man. Okay, 1 trillion extra every year. Okay, how do you think that's gonna be rectified, man? All right, ain't no future generation that's just gonna come and just pay that off, man. What's gonna happen is that them elite banking families gonna come knocking on the door asking for their money, and then they're gonna say, look, since this, okay, we're gonna take everybody's money. This is the solution, right? So Revelations 13 and 16, it says, and he causes all, both small and great, rich and go small and great, rich and poor, right, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead, that no man may buy or sell, save he that hath the mark, okay, or the name of the beast or his number. So that's what's coming, man. Right? All roads are leading towards the chick. So with that, I'm gonna say, all praise unto Yahweh Shemi Ashai Wahara Kakadash, double honors unto the apostles of great millstone, honors you brothers that be pushing this truth in sincerity. Shalom.